Top of the day, beautiful people. Top of the day. Oh, no. All right, beautiful people. Happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Careful, babe. It is, guys, we almost out of September. It is really blowing me away how fast this year is moving. It is September the 20th, 2020. We are on day 256 of year 2 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, also known as the Old Testament. And this is day 619 of the 2-year consecutive day count without the Sabbaths and the Sabbath feast days added in. All right. Today is Job 37, 38, and 39. Okay. So Job has only 42 chapters. So Yahuwah begins speaking today. Okay. Go back here. All right. Let me check something real quick. Okay, Elihu is finishing up his talking today in chapter 37, and Yahuwah begins speaking in chapter 38. And we'll actually be finished with Job tomorrow, 40, 41, and 42, the last 3 chapters. So let us go ahead and start with Job chapter 37. Remember, this is Elihu's speech or his conversation that we stopped on yesterday. So this is finishing up. Job chapter 37. My heart pounds as I think of this. It trembles within me. Listen carefully to the thunder of Yah's voice as it rolls from his mouth. It rolls across the heavens, and his lightning flashes in every direction. Then comes the roaring of the thunder, the tremendous voice of his majesty. He does not restrain it when he speaks. Yah's voice is glorious in the thunder. We can't even imagine the greatness of his power. He directs the snow to fall on the earth and tells the rain to pour down. Then everyone stops working so they can watch his power. The wild animals take cover and stay inside their dens. The stormy winds come from its chamber, and the driving winds bring the cold. Yah's breath sends the ice, freezing wide expanses of water. He loads the clouds with moisture, and they flash with his lightning. The clouds churn about in his direction. They do whatever he commands throughout the earth. He makes these things happen either to punish people or to show his unfailing love. Pay attention to this, Job. Stop and consider the wonderful miracles of Yah. Do you know how Yah controls the storm and causes the lightning to flash from his clouds? Do you understand how he moves the clouds with wonderful perfection and skill? If y'all didn't know how that happens, if you read the book of Enoch kind of goes into detail some of these things because these things were revealed to Enoch. I love the book of Enoch. Do you understand how he moves the clouds with wonderful perfection and skill? When you are sweltering in your clothes and the south wind dies down and everything is still, he makes the skies reflect the heat like a bronze mirror. Can you do that? So teach the rest of us what to say to Yah. We are too ignorant to make our own arguments. Should Yah be notified that I want to speak? Can people even speak when they are confused? We cannot look at the sun, for it shines brightly in the sky when the wind clears away the clouds. So golden splendor comes from the mountain of Yah. He is clothed in dazzling splendor. We cannot imagine the power of the Almighty. But even though he is just and righteous, he does not destroy us. No wonder people everywhere fear him. All who are wise show him reverence. Greetings, Uncle Nathaniel. Greetings, greetings. All right. Job chapter 38. Yah begins to speak. Yah challenges Job. Then Yahuwah answered Job from the whirlwind. Who is this that questions my wisdom with such ignorant words? Brace yourself like a man, because I have some questions for you, and you must answer them. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Tell me, if you know so much. Who determined its dimensions and stretching out the surveying line? Who supports its foundations, and who laid its cornerstone as the morning stars sang together and all the angels shouted for joy? Who kept the sea inside its boundaries as it burst from the womb, as I clothed it with clouds and wrapped it in thick darkness? For I locked it behind barred gates, limiting its shores. I said, this far and no farther will you come. Here your proud waves must stop. Have you ever commanded the morning to appear and caused the dawn to rise in the east? Have you made daylight spread to the ends of the earth to bring an end to the night's wickedness? As the light approaches, the earth takes shape like clay, pressed beneath a seal. It is robed in brilliant colors. The light disturbs the wicked and stops the arm that is raised in violence. Have you explored the springs from which the seas come? Have you explored their depths? Do you know where the gates of death are located? Have you seen the gates of utter gloom? Do you realize the extent of the earth? Tell me about it if you know. Where does light come from, and where does darkness go? Can you take each to its home? Do you know how to get there? But of course, you know all this, for you were born before it was all created, and you are so very experienced. Have you visited the storehouses of the snow, or seen the storehouses of hell? The book of Enoch also talks about these storehouses. I have reserved them as weapons for the time of trouble and for the day of battle and war. The book of Enoch also says that. Where is the path to the source of light? Where is the home of the east wind? Who created a channel for the torrents of rain? Who laid out the path for the lightning? Who makes the rain fall on barren land, in a desert where no one lives? Who sends rain to satisfy the parched ground and make the tender grass spring up? Does the rain have a father? Who gives birth to the dew? Who is the mother of the ice? Who gives birth to the frost from the heavens? For the water turns to ice as hard as rock, and the surface of the water freezes. Can you direct the movement of the stars, binding the cluster of the Pleiades or loosing the cords of Orion? Can you direct the constellations through the seasons, or guide the bear with her cubs across the heavens? Do you know the laws of the universe? Can you use them to regulate the earth? Can you shout to the clouds and make it rain? Can you make lightning appear and cause it to strike as you direct? Who gives intuition to the heart and instinct to the mind? Who is wise enough to count all the clouds? Who can tilt the water jars of heaven? It's not on. It's died. She need to plug it back in.
She always gets on it, not me.
Who is wise enough to count all the clouds? Who can tilt the water jars of heaven? When the parched ground is dry and the soil has hardened into clods, can you stalk prey for a lioness and satisfy the young lion's appetites as they lie in their dens or crouch in the thicket? Who provides food for the ravens when their young cry out to Yah and wander about in hunger? Last chapter for today, y'all. Job chapter 39. And it's going to cut off what Yah is saying, but we'll pick up the remainder of what he is saying tomorrow. So, Job chapter 39. Yahuwah continues his challenge. Do you know when the wild goats give birth? Have you watched as deer are born in the wild? Do you know how many months they carry their young? Are you aware of the time of their delivery? They crouch down to give birth to their young and deliver their offspring. Their young grow up in open fields and leave home and never return. Who gives the wild donkey its freedom? Who unties its ropes? I have placed it in the wilderness. Its home is the wasteland. It hates the noise of the city and has no driver to shout at it. The mountains are its pasture land, where it searches for every blade of grass. Will the wild ox consent to being tamed? Will it spend the night in your stall? Can you hitch a wild ox to a plow? Will it plow a field for you? Given its strength, can you trust it? Can you leave and trust the ox to do your work? Can you rely on it to bring home your grain and deliver it to your threshing floor? The ostrich flaps her wings grandly, but they are no match for the feathers of the stork. She lays her eggs on top of the earth, letting them be warmed in the dust. She doesn't worry that a foot might crush them or a wild animal might destroy them. She is harsh toward her young, as if they were not her own. She doesn't care if they die, for Yah has deprived her of wisdom. He has given her no understanding. But whenever she jumps up to run, she passes the swiftest horse with its rider. Have you given the horse its strength, or clothed its neck with a flowing mane? Did you give it the ability to leap like a locust? Its majestic snorting is terrifying. It paws the earth and rejoices in its strength when it charges out to battle. It laughs at fear and is unafraid. It does not run from the sword. The arrows rattle against it, and the spear and javelin flash. It paws the ground fiercely and rushes forward into battle when the ram's horn blows. It snorts at the sound of the horn.
Mom.
It senses the battle in the distance.
Mom.
It senses the battle in the distance. It quivers at the captain's commands and the noise of battle. Is it your wisdom that makes the hawk soar and spread its wings toward the south? Is it at your command that the eagle rises to the heights to make its nest? It lives on the cliffs, making its home on a distant rocky crag. From there, it hunts its prey, keeping watch with piercing eyes. Its young gulp down blood. Where there's a carcass, there you'll find it. And that, my beautiful people, is our reading for today. That was pretty quick. Job 37, 38, and 39. And we'll finish the last three chapters, 40, 41, and 42, tomorrow as Yahuwah finish speaking to Job. And I think the last thing he says is also a question.
Mom.
Yes. Yeah, then it gives you what happens to Job after all of this.
I'm hungry.
All right, baby girl. All right, y'all. So, like I said, Job 37, 38, and 39 was our reading for today. Let's go ahead and do this blessing. My kids y'all here. Let's see. Numbers chapter 6. Verses 22 through 27. Y'all know what it is. The blessing. And Yahuwah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and unto his sons, saying, On this wise ye shall bless the children of Israel, saying unto them, May Yahuwah bless us and keep us. May Yahuwah make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May Yahuwah lift up his countenance upon us and give us his peace. And they shall put my name upon the children of Israel, and I will bless them. All right, beautiful people. Love you. See you bright and early in the morning. 7:15 Eastern Standard Time.
Peace.